Hey everybody, I hope you saw the Lorcana stream because there's a lot of information that I'm going to give away in this video that might need the context. Um, anyways, a lot has happened in Lorcana in the past month and is going to happen soon that I really wanted to talk about first. And this just has to happen. I know I've never played another TCG. This is my first TCG, so this is the first time this has happened, but the bans really hurt. Over the past like 2 months or whatever, I had a lot of decks planned. I had a lot of deck building going. I was super into it. The new set was fun. Sapphire Steel was like I was starting to find counters for Ruby Sapphire and Sapphire Steel. Then they banned Hiram, and I kind of lost all that energy to keep making decks, keep being creative. So I know like my recent videos have been a little lazy, and I'm just been sticking to like the one deck that I enjoy because I'm kind of out of motivation. But hopefully set 8 will rejuvenate that, is what I thought. And then they announced a rotation, which honestly is the worst possible thing to see. I know everyone's like, oh, but there's an infinity format, which I believe, yeah, right here. So there's an infinity format where you can play all the cards, but all the DLCs, set champs, anything official is going to be in the core constructed, which means that these 4 chapters will not be playable officially in any major events after Fable is released. We know there's reprints, and they can reprint enough cards to where it's still fun, but not enough where like we'll get to see all the fun cards that were in these sets. Like I know, where's like Christopher Robin? Where's like whoa, I cannot spell. Where's he at? This card. This is one of my all-time favorite cards, but he's pretty much irrelevant because at the time going wide was almost impossible in Amber, and then by the time it became a viable strategy, Brawl and Sisu existed. So anything with 2 strength is irrelevant, and this card never got to see play. But I think it has potential, and I think it's a really awesome card. It's just they ruined it with all the Ruby, which I'm going to talk about later. I think the rotation is a good idea, but it's too soon. It is definitely too soon, and that makes the 4th set in each set of the rotation really bad because we only get this set for what, 15 months, maybe 14, 15. So when set 13 comes out, whatever that is, then Reign of Jafar will be unplayable. That's a bad feeling because I mean, like, look, if you got a Ursa's Return uh, booster box or something, like right now, I mean, you get what, 3 more months of value, and we only got about 15 months of that set. So I'm glad to see Sisu go away, but it just feels really bad if you bought into these sets. Any of these last two, like Arcasi's Island, even is gonna have really low value because it'll be gone soon enough, and there's not enough reprints to manage that. Anyways, not all I wanted to talk about, but let's talk about the new rarities because we have what are these? Iconics? No, iconics are the big ones. Epics. Epics are the smaller ones. Um, So yeah, we have a smaller rarity than Enchanted, where it's just kind of a full art version of, or what do they call it? The Open Sky. I think that's what it was. Full Sky, something like that. I think this is great because we want more value in our packs. Unfortunately, both this and the Iconics are going to be taking over the same slot as Enchanteds and Foils, which would mean our foils are going to have more value by default, but that just means like it's gonna be really packed, and it's gonna be really hard to find foils of cards you're looking for. And there's no chance of getting like a god pack. Like you can't get both enchanted and an iconic, which that would be insane. But there's no chance of that ever happening, which is a little sad. Like, I wish it was kind of like Star Wars, where it was just every card got a full art variant. Like this isn't a full art. It's like just a little special. These a little different font. I guess it's foiled, but they could just non-foil it. Um, there's a lot of chances for this to be awesome, and I think they ruined it. But either way, new rarities, still cool. Still cool. Um, let's get rid of these. They're going over like the reprints. So we've gotten some of the cards revealed for reprints. The issue I have with it is that they aren't different arts. They're the same arts as before. Like I showed the Elsa, it's the same art as the set one Elsa. These stitches are the same. You can play them all. Like you can play the the set champ version of Rockstar, but it's the same art. It just feels kind of lame. I wanted to showcase a few of the new cards. This is incredibly hard to see. How do I plus? Okay, so I thought this card was going to cost 2 or maybe 3, but it's a 1-drop, and that's insane. So if you don't know that, like, Turnidogs is a really playable deck right now, and going into the rotation, looking at all the decks that are currently viable and seeing what could, from now, what is playable when the rotation hits, Turnidogs is that deck. Obviously, we lose Chernobog, but all the Lady and the Tramp stuff, although 0/4s, the Daisy Ducks is all set 5, so it's all playable. This card's crazy. So it's a 1-drop 0/3, which is like by default. You lose like the 1 strength of the natural 1-drop 1/3s, but I mean, those aren't really played. But whenever you play a character, it gets +1 this turn, which is pretty solid. No, if turn 2 you play 2 1-drops, it's at 2/3 now. But while it has 3 strength, it gains 2 lore. Like, that's insane. So if you play 3 characters, then 8 quests for 3. And then I was thinking, like, if you play this on 1, then you can play the Tramp for 1 and buff it to 2. And then you can play another character, another 1-drop. And then this quest for 3 on turn 2. Like, that's insane. Or it hits for 3. Or, yeah, you could just challenge. Like, I don't know. This card is nuts. And I'm very glad it's in the game because I love the Lady and the Tramp stuff. It's also an inkable shift target. Thank you very much. Okay, now we gotta zoom out, guys. Um, I don't really care about the cards on the left and right. There's a lot of evasives in this set, and they're doing a lot of evasive things, which I think is great. But this middle card I wanted to talk about, I think it's very interesting. I don't think it's amazing, but it could be. It could be awesome. So when it's a 3 uninkable, which is rough. It's a 1/1 that quests for 3. It's kind of like the Pinocchio, but it costs 1 more. But when you play it, you gain 1 lore, and when an opponent plays a character, return this to your hand. So it's like an infinite lore generator, unless they use an action on it, which I feel like if they're brawling this, it doesn't feel terrible. It already gained a lore, right? Like, I don't know, I'm not too mad. I feel like this card is going to be nasty after the ban, after we get rid of a lot of that cheap removal. But I think it's awesome. If they play any character, it just goes back to your hand. If they don't play a character, you quest for 3. That sounds great. But we'll see. I mean, legendaries in the past have not actually been that good, so I don't know. Looking at this, these cards we've seen before. We can't see the full text here. I think all 3 of these cards are pretty solid, but I really wanted to talk about Bruno here. So 7 uninkable 3/7, which is like, it's not a very good buddy. Only quest for 2, but he's shift 5, so we're probably gonna see more Bruno, maybe an Amber Bruno. He's going with the whole like singing madrigal theme. Whenever this character sings a song, you may draw a card for each character you have in play. That's crazy. I don't know, if you're playing, let's say you played a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop, a 4-drop, and then you shifted, and then you sang like "This Is My Family," because it's a 7-drop. Then you draw 3 cards for each character. No, you draw for him as well. So you draw 4 cards. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's only shift 5. Like, this doesn't even feel that bad. I think this card is nuts. And there's so many ways in Amber to get this out sooner. And if we get more songs, hopefully in this set, more songs to sing, like, that would be great. I would love to see that. Especially if you're playing, what is the Bruno, like the family, Welcome to the Family? Is that what it's called? I don't know. It's like the 6-drop Dual Link song that can find a madrigal and find another song, so you might be able to find another song for next turn. I can also see having what is it called? Try everything. Try everything. Where is it? Yeah, let me look at these cards. I think it's what is it called? The Family Madrigal. Yeah, look at the top 5. Put a madrigal and a song into your hand, and then try everything. I think this could be nasty because you play this, you'd heal him, which is irrelevant, but you'd ready him and he could sing again, so he could sing 2 songs. Like, you sing that, and then you sing Family Madrigal, and yeah, I don't know. You draw a ton of cards, and I think if you're playing this with Jafar, maybe it could be really awesome. I think there's a lot of potential. I think Rapunzel has potential as well. Just being yet again, Ruby, love you, Ruby. 2-5 really sucks. 2-5's fine here because it shifts on 2. I think this card's really good, which we saw the Enchanted reveal already. Just a really solid thing to the ally. Just weird Sapphire Steel ally build. There's not that many allies in this deck because all like the synergistic cards with the allies are heroes, and I don't really understand what the point is, but we'll see if it actually works. My last card, which might be just a crazy. I love my crazy cards, but I think this is good. You draw a card. It's a 2-drop that draws a card, right? It's already good. But chosen character gets 5 strength this turn, but you banish them at the end of the turn, which is okay. Why? Because, one, we already have stuff in this Ruby Amber Racers deck where we want your characters to die. So, like, killing them is fine. We could play King Candy and then play this on the next turn and then take out our character on their side and then it gets banished. And because of King Candy, because we banished a Racer, then they have to choose and banish one of their own characters, like Be King Undisputed, which is awesome. I also think, like, if you're just using, it's just a 1-drop. Like, imagine you just have a 1-drop on board, just a 1-drop 2/2, like the Vanellope. You give it +5, it hits for 7, it can kill a Chi and Po. Like, this is crazy, and it draws a card. Issue is, issue. You can't just play this to draw a card. If you play it, you have to choose a character, and they have to be banished at the end of the turn. Which I don't think is the worst thing ever. I feel like if you're in need of this, you're probably okay with one of your characters dying, but I don't know. It's a little weird. But I think +5 strength in general is really good. There's a lot of decks that I think really want to have high strength if we're playing Maximus and stuff. So I don't know. I'm really hyped for this, and I want to see it make some decks. I want to make the Racer deck actually good. But we'll see if we get more synergy for it. This is the first one I think we've seen of the dual color Racers for the set. Alright, now what I wanted to talk about the most, and probably the thing I've been complaining about the most in this game, is like damage. Damage is so important to Lorcana. Like I said, I've never played another card game, but I think I understand it pretty well. That damage is really unique. A lot of games like Magic, damage doesn't even stay until the next turn. It just goes away at the end. It's a momentary thing. It doesn't last forever. But Lorcana's damage stays. And there's so many cards in this game that care about damage. Not just in Amber, not just in Sapphire, but every single color has to do with damage. Yet, they decided that they would like to do removal based completely on strength, which is a really bad idea. It's really bad. Think of all these cards that would be fine. Like this 1/2, right? It heals a character when you play it. Great. But it doesn't matter because your characters are all just going to die to Sisu. And they make these cards that I think strength removal is fine, like Brawl. I think Brawl's a weird niche thing, like, oh, can I dodge the Brawl or not? But when the entire deck is that, and then when you add Ice Block and Sapphire Coil, and you just can't really avoid the strength related things, and now you're taking your entire deck to be good against strength when the entire rest of the game wants to deal with damage, and that makes a lot of cards irrelevant. Like, for example, moving damage. Moving damage, I think, is very, very good in this game, but there's so many instances where the cards that you want to be moving damage with, like this 1-drop Mulan, like you'd play this and it would just die to CC. Or you'd play this and they won't even have characters on board you can move the damage to. But also, there's so much healing. It's a really weird decision when you want to move damage, when you want to heal. It's hard to deal with because half the meta is just strength related removal, so in a lot of matchups healing doesn't even matter, moving damage doesn't really matter. And also all the characters you want to play to heal off of to deal damage are really weak. They have like 1 strength or 2 strength, so they're completely unplayable. Like this Aurora. I think she'd be amazing if she didn't have 1 strength. And that's only because of the little Sisu, the big Sisu, the Brawl, the Medusas. It's just these cards are very irritating and they make deck building almost impossible for a lot of cards. I think that's a really toxic part of the game. So I hope, and so far they have shown, in the rotation, they're not bringing back the strength related removal, which would be great because Sapphire Coil is still in the game and it did not get banned, and they seem to have not banned it on purpose. which is a little scary because I hope they don't bring it back. But like even Under the Sea, I think is more balanced. Under the Sea is still the same issue. It's just easier to dodge. It's an action. It's a song. You know, there's ways around Under the Sea, but there's not that many ways around a Sisu, or Brawl, or Medusa, and I hate it. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks this, but I thought it would be really fun to play characters that have all these damage related triggers and it actually matter, right? There's so many characters that care about damage, but you can't have damage because they just deal strength. Or there's so many ways to get rid of damage that like it doesn't really matter. You can just bounce the characters that have damage. You could heal it off. Like Rapunzel's amazing. I think we need more kinds of Rapunzels, but the issue with Rapunzel is that most characters have like 4 health anyways, so they don't even still have damage when it's over. Then there's like Robin Hood, like gain 1 lore for each damaged opposing character. Most decks only play like 2 characters at a time, so there's nothing to actually hit and leave damage on. It's very irritating. It just actually drives me mad. And I'm thinking about cards with like, what's like a big 7 willpower character? Yeah, like look at all these big, like Jafar. This card would be awesome. Characters that cost 4 less can't challenge. He's got Challenger 7. Amazing. What does he die to? Every Ruby card. It's very bad. It's a legendary. It shouldn't have that. This shouldn't be an issue we have to talk about. And the only answer can't just be locations. Like imagine we had a game where these big health characters that buff health actually mattered. Imagine you played a game where it was just like, let's just assume it's Sapphire Steel versus Sapphire Steel. They play a Chin Po, and on your turn you use support Alice to support one of your other characters that uses support for another character so that you could take out the Chin Po all in one shot. Why? Because you use support, because support matters in a matchup where they have high health. It wouldn't matter if they had high strength, low health. They're just 1-for-1ing. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, Mono Reject, this card could be awesome if Ruby removal didn't exist. You'd have to, do Fox plus Crab into it. You'd have to work around these high health characters instead of it just not existing. And you'd be like, oh, well, why wouldn't you just always play high health characters? It would be unbalanced. Because they don't do any damage. So, like, it's like locations. Like, if you just keep playing locations, do you win the game? No. You get around the strength removal, sure, but you don't win the game. Which is why I think the game needs to focus on high willpower, not on high strength. It needs to get rid of strength-related removal. I think it's really toxic for the game. And this is beyond Be Prepared. I'll talk about Be Prepared some other time. I really hope they don't reprint it. It honestly might make me lose faith in the game if they do. I don't think this game needs board wipes. I don't think it needs strength removal. I think if we just focus on what the game does well, which is damage and keeping things on the board. Like, the game is so good at having all these characters on board. You play one character per turn, you could play multiple little characters, and then you could wipe it out with swords. Like, there's so many options within damage and like single target removal that doesn't need strength. I don't know what I'm saying. I might just be yapping. But there's so many cards in the game that could be like Camilo dies to Medusa. Great. Like, what a terrible feeling that is. All these high health characters that we do have are irrelevant because they just get one shot by these other big things. I think the game needs to focus on big characters and focus less on just spamming the board with little things because guess what? You're going to get board wiped. Maybe I'm ranting. Maybe. I don't know. But there's so many cards in this game that would be amazing if Ruby didn't exist. I think Ruby's really bad for the game. And people are like, oh, but it keeps it in check. In check of what? Like, it doesn't have to exist. There are other matchups in this that are really fun. Like, the least fun games I ever play are against Ruby. It's bad. I mean, if you play 2 aggro decks together, like Amber Steel versus Sapphire Steel, it feels really fun. You have to like outsmart each other. Bodyguards matter. Healing matters. You actually put in this math, but the moment you play against a Ruby deck, you're like, did I go fast enough? No, I lost. Yes, I won. Great, and it's a terrible feeling. It's not good. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Sorry for probably the biggest rant I'll ever go on a video, but I don't have like a new deck idea or something. I'm sorry. When the new set comes out, I'll definitely be cooking. I'll be back. Trust me. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.